lights. Fast cars, shooting stars, all of the lights, all of the lights. Until it's taken, said they really.
Good morning, T-Wolves. I'm Fishy.
And I'm Salmon.
And this is T-Wolf TV for Friday, September 10th.
Tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of the September 11 attacks, also called 9/11. A series of airline hijackings and suicide attacks committed in 2001 by 19 militias associated with the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda against targets in the United States, the deadliest terrorist attacks on American soil in the U.S. history. The attacks against New York City and Washington, D.C. caused extensive death and destruction.
You can't believe it. You're looking at this big fireball, people screaming, calling out for help.
As soon as we walked in the door, we encountered our first victim that had been severely burned. And you get that smell of a victim that's more of a taste than it is a smell.
Some 2,750 people were killed in New York, 184 at the Pentagon, and 40 in Pennsylvania, where one of the hijacked planes crashed after passengers attempted to retake the plane, as well as 19 terrorists.
United 93, understand, have a bomb on board, go ahead.
I feel it's gonna come down too.
Police and fire departments in New York were especially hard hit. Hundreds had rushed to the scene of the attacks, and more than 400 police officers and firefighters were killed.
Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. These acts shattered steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve.
Let us never forget.
I do walking tours of the 9/11 Memorial for the 9/11 Tribute Center. And I meet people on my tours from all four corners of the globe. On every one of my tours, I mention that most people don't remember what they did yesterday. But I have had so many guests on my tours come up to me and say that they remember every single detail about where they were and what they were doing on September 11th, regardless of where they're from.
When you talk to anybody, say, and you tell them where you were on September 11th, they'll tell you exactly where they were, because even though they may not have been in the building, but they'll definitely remember where they were.
People always remember every single moment of that day around the world, because September 11, 2001 is not just New Yorker's story, it's not just my story, but it is international part of history and a history of every single person in the world.
And what I say to my guests all the time is, that's your 9/11 story. And you should tell it, because by telling it, by doing so, you help us to share history, and you help us to keep the spirit of what happened here alive. And I'm inspired by that. That gives me so much hope.
I believe September 11th would be the equivalent of D-Day for certain generations, or Pearl Harbor, or when JFK was assassinated, those seminal, markers in your history, in your lifetime.
My cousin was in Pearl Harbor. My father and grandfather remember Pearl Harbor. These generations will need to remember.
I think it's important to try to remember some tragedies. Remember that life can be very precious and can be gone in a flash.
These are emotional memories that cannot be translated into a textbook. These are stories that we tell people, and hopefully the generation will understand this here and bring it forward to the next generation.
I feel that a lot of people use September 11th to remember the wrong things, to remember the divisions instead of what brought us together. And I think as more and more time goes by, more and more people just remember the hate that caused that act instead of the love that followed it. We were all one that day. People from New York, DC, all over the country and all over the world. Everybody was united. I think that's why everybody remembers where they were, because everybody's heart was here. I remember.
I remember.
I remember.
I remember September 11th.
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 Attention Green Club members, we will have our first meeting today after school in room 222. Please join us to find out about our upcoming activities. New members are always welcome.
Did you know that over 45 million people in the United States are bird watchers? If you want to learn more about one of the world's favorite pastimes, then join the Bird Watching Club. Join us for our kickoff meeting after school today in room 222.
If you're taking concurrent enrollment course this semester, the deadline for UVU admission is today. You need to be registered for your class by Monday, September 13th. If you have any questions, please talk to your concurrent enrollment teacher or come to the counseling office and speak to Mrs. Hall.
Monday, September 13th is THS Spirit Night at Chick-fil-A on State Street in Orem. Come from 5 to 7 p.m. and say you're supporting THS, and a portion of the proceeds will be given to our THS PTSA. See you there.
FCCLA is holding their opening social next Wednesday, September 15th at the State Fair. It is free for members and $8 for non-members. Don't forget to bring your application to room 507 before the 15th. Meet at the front of the THS entrance at 3:40 p.m.
Boys basketball open gyms have begun. They are Tuesday and Thursday either from 3 to 5 p.m. or 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. depending on the volleyball home game schedule. If you have any questions, see Coach Fox in room 228.
Seniors, Sterling Scholar applications are now available. Come see Mrs. Bray in room 705 if you are interested in applying.
Today is the last day to sign up for Powder Puffs in lunch right at the beginning. Also, good luck to our fall sports teams today. Cross country heads to Park City for the Park City Invitational. Girls tennis takes on Mountain View at home, and varsity football travels south to Payson. Good luck to all of you. For T-Wolf TV, I'm Cassia.
And I'm Crouton.
Remember, T-Wolves, never forget, and we love you all.